Right now this morning, race against time, the state of Florida rushing to clean up debris left by Hurricane Helene while it awaits Hurricane Milton's arrival. And winter's coming, but the fun doesn't have to stop. Find out how Jumpstart Adventure Park is keeping families active indoors.
Plus, we have a frosty start for some, and as we go into the next hour, we'll be showing you what's going to happen as far as warming conditions here locally and also your tropical weather in just a bit.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for watching News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, October 9th. You said it's two jacket morning for you.
Yeah.
I brought one jacket and I got a blanket over there.
What about gloves and a hat? I may have to do a hat.
Oh, you're onto that already.
Yeah. Well, I maybe not. Well,
you're
tomorrow.
preparing.
Yeah.
You're preparing for the Wisconsin winter that's ahead.
Well, I'm still up in the air on that, so I've been asking questions.
You don't know what's coming your way.
Well, let me show them what's happening their way right now. Let's get into it here. As we go into it, we're looking at frost happening to the area right now. That's until 9 o'clock. Then we're going to be seeing the possibility, you can see a much smaller area than what we had over the last few days. Temperatures are getting possibly in the 20s and the 30s. Right now we're looking at some 20s and some 30s right now, some 40s. We'll probably see this over the next hour or so where temperatures beginning to dip down. There's a look at the cloud cover right now, so not much happening. You can see it all the way out there, and eventually some of that may stretch over to over into Eau Claire. Right now there's a fog down to the south, patchy to dense fog from Buskville going to Prairie du Chien, and then up to the north we're holding on just a little bit, or the central area. Black River Falls holding on to patchy fog. Vogue Field is the area I'm looking at. That's going to carry over to Sparta, and then eventually we'll see a little bit of patchy fog getting to our river valleys. That being said, you can see some of it near the Mississippi, and it starts to clear out by Eau Claire, and eventually you're going to get into conditions that'll be much clearer as you go right into at least the 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour. You see it all backing off there. That being said, take a gander what I've got going on for you here as we go right into it. Dry conditions on the way. When I return, I'll show you what the drought situation is for us, when the rainfall is coming, and of course we'll track the tropics as well, so please stick around.
Thank you, Art. More than a dozen counties in western Florida are under mandatory evacuation orders this morning as state officials warn Hurricane Milton could be a once-in-a-century powerful storm. The National Weather Service says the storm, which is set to hit sometime tonight or early tomorrow, will be historic with at least a 10-foot storm surge, life-threatening winds, and catastrophic flash flooding. CBS News' Nicole Valdez is in Fort Myers.
Sirens and police ride-throughs,
safely evacuate the area,
urging residents on Florida's west coast to evacuate with monster Hurricane Milton set to make landfall in a few hours.
We were going to stay, but I don't want to take the chance.
A steady stream of traffic moving inland has brought highways to a crawl, while areas like Treasure Island, already hit hard by Hurricane Helene almost 2 weeks ago, look like a ghost town Tuesday. Tom Potter and his family had barely begun the cleanup after Helene. Now they're bracing for Milton.
Thinking that this storm could be the one that actually takes it all away. It's pretty scary.
Meanwhile, it's a race against time to clear the piles of debris left behind by Helene, with the governor ordering landfills to stay open overnight. Fort Myers businesses are boarded up and sandbags piled on in preparation for the storm. Still, some residents say they plan to stick it out.
I'm in high-rise downtown, so I feel pretty comfortable where I'm at. I got plenty of food and supplies.
A traveler filmed this empty terminal before she departed Tampa's International Airport, now one of several in Florida, to suspend operations as Milton approaches.
The National Weather Service says along with dangerous winds and flooding, residents should also be prepared for long-duration power outages. To the campaign trail, Winona voters got a closer look at their House candidates last night. The League of Women Voters hosted a forum for several Minnesota House seats, including District 26A. Republican Aaron Rapinski and Democrat Sarah Krueger faced off, covering their Winona roots, bipartisanship goals, and economic concerns.
Voting in a way that is always based on the needs of the district, not necessarily based on a caucus, not based on a party that I'm affiliated with.
Everybody talks about the economy and how we increased our budget by 38% over 2 years with having a surplus. Government needs fiscal responsibility and transparency.
Rapinski serves on Winona City Council while Krueger is chief of staff for Fair Vote Minnesota, a nonprofit. With 4 weeks to go now until the election, campaigns are revving up their efforts. It's no secret that Wisconsin elections tend to be incredibly close. In a state that comes down to the margins, youth turnout in this election could be the deciding factor in who wins. As News 8 Now's Allison Fergut explains, organizations are doing their part to help young voters get ready for Election Day.
This will be my first presidential election. I'm very excited. It's like monumental, I guess.
In a few weeks, millions of young Americans will cast their first presidential election vote. America's youth voter turnout is notoriously low, but recent trends show a shift in how the youth view their vote.
Being able to actually make a difference in the what's going on in politics and not just hearing about it and giving my opinion, but now I can actually do something to help America.
Research from Tufts University saw the youth vote jump 11 points between 2016 and 2020. And in the 2022 midterms, Wisconsin led the nation in youth turnout.
I've seen a huge turn in young people really looking at what are the issues these candidates stand behind, what are the issues important to the students themselves.
But it's not always easy for young people to get involved. College students voting for the first time have to register with their campus address. And in Wisconsin, you need a photo ID to vote.
UWL has done a really great job of working alongside the city clerk to ensure that our student IDs can work as voter IDs.
There's a large investment in youth turnout this election cycle. The nonpartisan voting rights group Vote America is spending more than $100,000 on advertising on UWL's campus. In a statement sent to News 8 Now, the group said their goal is to help student voters have access to trustworthy, reliable sources to help them navigate voting. Less than 23,000 votes decided Wisconsin's last two presidential elections. And with almost 300,000 people between the ages of 18 to 24 registered in the state, whether those voters turn out can make the difference.
I think it's very important to know that you are important, you can vote, it's your civic duty to vote, and that your vote will count and matter in the election.
Reporting in La Crosse, Allison Fergut, News 8 Now, This Morning.
And this week is National Voter Education Week, UWL hosting a number of events to help first-time voters on campus. And happening today, Gwen Walls bringing the campaign trail back to Wisconsin. The Harrah's Walls ticket will make 2 stops in the Badger State, Beloit at 10 and Madison at noon. Exact locations are still under wraps. Her tour follows President Biden's Milwaukee stop yesterday, where he highlighted job creation and lead pipe replacement efforts. The president announced an EPA rule requiring utilities to replace lead pipes while in Milwaukee. Biden says federal funding will cut Milwaukee's 60-year replacement plan to just 10 years.
And over the years, we've only chipped away at the problem. But chipping at the problem hasn't fully solved it. It's taken too long. It hasn't been given a high enough priority until now.
The EPA estimates the rule will prevent up to 900,000 infants from being born low birth weight and reduce up to 1,500 cases of premature death from heart disease. Longtime La Crosse resident Shondell Washington Spivey formally launching his campaign for mayor of La Crosse. The UWL graduate and current executive director of the nonprofit Black Leaders Acquiring Collective Knowledge held his first campaign event yesterday. He says his experience serving the community will help address issues the city is facing.
I've talked to a lot of folks around issues here in La Crosse and things like that, and so I feel like I can do a great job as mayor in leading the city to address some of the issues that we have.
His campaign says its focus is returning the fundamental values of care, action, and community back to the mayor's office. The mayoral race will be on the April ballot. The time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news, Amazon's Prime Big Deal Days are back. Low French fry sales are hurting suppliers, and the Las Vegas Tropicana implodes this morning. We'll show you more of that. Several states are suing TikTok. We'll tell you why and what they say about the app's impact on our children. That and more coming up. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Keanu Reeves hit the track over the weekend. The actor and musician put the pedal to the metal at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in a racing series for amateur drivers and aspiring racers. Longtime racing enthusiast, in 2009, he won the Long Beach Toyota Grand Prix celebrity racing event. And for now, leaving you with a live look at St. Petersburg, Florida. This, of course, where crews and residents officials continue bracing for Hurricane Milton to make landfall. We know hundreds of flights to and from the state already canceled. Residents have been told to evacuate in most parts. We are continuing to update the situation. We will update you throughout the morning.
I'm a nurse in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Hovde means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
Eric Hovde supported overturning Roe v. Wade, which led to an abortion ban in Wisconsin.
And that's a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest.
What Hovde supports criminalizes abortion and doctors like me.
We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
You just have to get in the seat of a John Deere Gator XUV 835M, not because of the spacious cargo box, or because it can tackle any terrain, not even because it tows up to 4,000 pounds. You just have to get in the seat because something about being this productive just makes you smile.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a Deere. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. Here's his vice president.
Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States.
I cannot in good conscience endorse Donald Trump this year.
His defense secretary.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's former highest-ranking military officer.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is too big a risk for America.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Get ready for the holidays and save money during our fall sale at Interior Designs Holman. All of our carpets are on sale. You'll save money and get more for free. Free measuring and estimates in your home. Free furniture moving, even that heavy couch and king-size bed. Free removal of your old carpet and padding, and we'll recycle it. Free life of carpet labor warranty for as long as you own the carpet. All at the lowest prices of the year and 12 months no interest financing. Save money and get more for free during the biggest carpet sale of the year going on now at Interior Designs Holman.
Billionaire banker Eric Hovde has a plan for Social Security.
Do you favor either raising the retirement age or cutting benefits?
I favor both.
Raising the retirement age?
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Hovde wants to raise the retirement age as high as 72. And Hovde just proposed cutting Social Security by 28%, costing the average beneficiary more than $6,000 a year. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington Insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington Insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington Insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Alrighty, let me get you into this here quick. I'm just sorry, I want to show you some interesting stuff here coming in along. We're holding on to the potential going into sea surface temperatures, and I want to show you how this continues to start. You're looking at temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico in the low to middle 30s, 80s. I'm already talking about weather here. And you're going to see this is Milton right there, and it's carrying over into 84 to 85 degree temperature, and it's headed right for the coast, as you already know. Later on tonight, by I'll say midnight, going into about 3 a.m. Eastern daytime, that could possibly be hitting that. This is what Florida's dealing with right now. You've got Milton right here. You've got this system. There's an area of low pressure. That's an interest they're looking at. Invest 93L. They're keeping track on that. It's probably going to move away from the coast. That's already has about a 50% chance of developing in the next 48 hours. You've got Leslie out here already, and then you've got another invest that's over in the eastern Pacific as it finishes out. Now, we go back into, say, about, say, October 22nd or so. There's another system that's going to be skirting Miami and start flirting with Miami coming up and then eventually hitting the base of Miami and then heading back out either to Mexico or into portions of Texas, southern Texas by Brownsville. This is what's happening today. You're going to be seeing this hit make landfall possibly as a Category 4 hurricane, skip to the eastern side of Florida, getting into near the Space Coast there and holding on to a Category 1, and then spilling out over into the Atlantic as a tropical storm, and then tracking towards right here where Bermuda is. That's where the heavier rainfall is going to be falling in. That's what's happening with them. We get in, we've got drier conditions. You can see what's happening across the nation here right now and down to the south. When I come back, I'll give you a better overview of what's going to happen and show you where that rainfall is going to be. Stick around.
In your morning consumer news, Amazon's Prime Big Deal Days is back. The sales event offers Prime members exclusive access to deals across a number of popular categories. Amazon says you can expect deep discounts on products from top brands. This is the third time Amazon has hosted a Prime Day style event during the fall season. The sale ends tonight. Rising fast food prices are cooling French fry sales, hitting the nation's top supplier hard. Lamb Weston announcing last week it'll lay off nearly 400 workers and close a plant as demand slows. The company says 80% of U.S. French fries are consumed at fast food chains, so home cooking just can't make up the difference. After nearly 7 decades, the Tropicana will no longer dazzle the Las Vegas Strip. There it goes. Its towers were demolished just a couple hours ago, about 2 hours ago. The historic property closed in April. Before the implosion, the hotel's operator, Bally's Corp, and the Oakland Athletics hosted a commemorative event featuring a fireworks display. Removal clears the way for a new baseball stadium to host the Athletics. Team officials said they expect to start construction within the next year. Completion is slated for the 2028 season. Lawsuits are being filed against TikTok, alleging the platform is harmful for children and teens. Studies suggest that can be true for social media in general, but the lawsuits accuse TikTok of being particularly dangerous. Amy Kiley reports on what you might want to know to keep your kids safe.
For the developing teenage mind, the TikTok platform is like digital nicotine.
TikTok faces new lawsuits from 14 state attorneys general who allege it hurts young people's mental health.
Our goal is to hold the company accountable for its unlawful conduct and to stop the company from engaging in practices that exploit our young people for profit.
Numerous studies show social media in general can harm children and teens. A CDC survey out just yesterday shows high schoolers who use it frequently report more negative experiences and emotions. But the new lawsuits single out TikTok as being especially dangerous.
We know that the overuse of social media is driving an epidemic of mental health challenges for young people. TikTok is particularly effective at it.
The suits argue TikTok's endless scrolling content is addictive. They say challenge videos on the platform can encourage risky behavior, and late-night push notifications can disrupt sleep.
It's intentional design choices that trap young people's time and attention and hurt them in the process.
TikTok says it's proud of its efforts to protect teens. It says it removes underage users and employs safeguards.
TikTok hasn't been straight with the public, with parents, with children, in overstating its safety features when it knows, in fact, that the safety features don't work.
A federal law could ban TikTok from the U.S. as early as next year unless its Chinese parent company sells it. TikTok is challenging that ban in court. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:18. Let's check in with Art for a look at our forecast.
All right, we know we're a little bit frosty this early morning, so the kids heading out to school today. 39 degrees for the early morning, and then once you get into the afternoon, temperatures will change a bit, getting about 71 degrees for you with plenty of sunshine for Eau Claire getting into your afternoon. So get out and enjoy that one, right? So as we go into it, La Crosse starting out about 41 or so, maybe about 41 to 42, somewhere in there. We'll see conditions to get you at least up to 75 degrees later on today. So we are warming up gradually, and we'll continue to do that as we go right into Friday as well. So nice and mild out there, plenty of sunshine to boot for you. All right, so we get into it. So that means fire danger is going to start to enhance or possibly return again. You're already seeing it. We're at a high level right now. As we go into warming conditions, possibly up into the low 80s for La Crosse, you can see that becoming an issue. The winds are going to start to come in as we go into the weekend. We're going to be seeing those winds get up to at least gusting up to at least 25 to maybe 30 miles per hour in some cases. Warmer conditions will ensue as we go go through Friday. As we go into, say, Saturday, though, that warm air starts to dive down as warmer air starts to move down to the south. Cooler air starts to dive in, and our temperatures will begin to drop for our lows, mostly our highs getting into at least the 60s. And then once we go into Monday, we're going to be looking at 50s, possibly going into our high temperatures, with temperatures in the morning are going to be maybe in the 30s. In fact, it's going to be pretty chilly and cold. That continues to move off and out. Then we go back into the mild as we get into Wednesday, or at least by next week. As we get into at least next week, we'll find ourselves getting back into the mild, possibly with temperatures around 60 degrees. That being said, the rainfall potential, we increase the clouds as we go right into Friday, possibly partly to mostly cloudy skies. A lot of that coming out of Canada. You'll see the cloud cover coming here. Then eventually we see more of this next wave coming in. Number 2, bringing in at least some rainfall potential as we go from Eau Claire down to La Crosse. It's mostly going to be heading towards the eastern portion of our forecast, but you're going to see as we continue on, this starts to dive down as we go to Sunday, 10 a.m. in the morning, and then boom, dropping back down with more rainfall possibly coming back in as we go to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then starts to dry out as everything kind of moves out to the east. So we're looking at about maybe a 20% chance to start on Saturday to a 50% chance possibly in the overnight hours, and then clicking down to a 20% chance going into Sunday. That being said, the highs for today, 60s, you can see up there to the north, holding on to mostly 70s in the central and the southern portion of our area. So that's the demarcation line. The zones are going to take you across the area here. We start off in La Crosse County. We're looking at least Shelby around 75, La Crosse at 75. Farther to the north, you're going to get into Mindoro, getting up to like 73. Then we take a look down to the south. We have at least getting to Prairie du Chien around 76. Temperatures will hold on to 71 by Viroqua. Then we'll go back up to the central zone, holding on to very mild conditions. And people are mostly around, say, 71 to 75 degrees. Up to the north, you're looking at, again, holding on to about 71 as you get into Eau Claire. And then for the next few days, away we go. Temperatures running from 75 to 79. Great comfort. We'll go back into the 80s by Friday, so warmer conditions. Breezy and gusty winds coming for Saturday. 30% chance getting up to at least a 50% chance overnight, turning it to a 20 as you finish out for Sunday. And then much cooler conditions coming in as we finish out the beginning of next week. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Time now is 6:21. Still to come, is your blood pressure reading lying to you? Millions of Americans have high blood pressure, but many don't know it. Now, a new study suggests even those who get checked might be getting inaccurate results. We'll take a look at those details.
Coming up in the Blitz, some of the top squads in the MVC boys soccer standings facing off, plus area volleyball teams looking for a big late season victory. Keep it right here.
I'm Stacy Klein. As a volleyball mom, I remember looking forward to our week for team snacks. But now even the generic brands are expensive. And while career politicians are busy pointing fingers and bickering, Wisconsin families are still suffering. That's why I'm running for state senate, to lower the cost of living, cut taxes, and get Madison back to working as a team again. Because Western Wisconsin families are tired of settling for generic brands and generic politicians.
Taco John's new 2 for $5 Fiesta Chicken Tacos are here to Fiesta. Grilled old white meat chicken is here to Fiesta. And creamy Fiesta sauce is obviously here to Fiesta. That's kind of its thing. New 2 for $5 Fiesta Chicken Tacos at Taco John's.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California, even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Sometimes a celebration means fireworks and loud music. I'll just tell you that I'm celebrating 35 years at the board store, 80 years on the planet, and my daughter Danielle becoming the new general manager of the board store. Let what's personal to me be personal to you with savings on your next home improvement.
Call for a prompt free estimate on windows and doors, on siding or gutters, on a bathroom or a kitchen, on a sunroom or deck.
Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The Board Store, improving your home, improving your life.
I served in the United States Navy to protect and honor my country, so it makes me sick to know it. But our Congressman, Derek Van Orden, participated in January 6th, the deadly Capitol attack where 140 police officers were injured and 5 ultimately died. Van Orden was there. Then he lied about it until social media posts proved Van Orden was there. As rioters attacked it, he dishonored our country. Derek Van Orden doesn't belong in Congress.
VoteVets is responsible for the content of this advertising. If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More recliners. King Furniture has more Lazy Boy recliners than anywhere else in the Coulee region. Fabric, leather, even lift chairs. Try them all. Sit on this, sit on that. There's plenty here to choose from because it's all about choices, you know. And as always, free delivery. Just try that anywhere else.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
Sunken or uneven concrete only worsens with time due to changing seasons, stress on the slab, or poorly compacted soil. Your sunken concrete won't get better with time, but it will with our modern solutions. Choose American Waterworks.
Welcome to Blitz. Well, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty. Chilly temps means important nights of action in fall sports seasons. We'll begin on the soccer pitch where some of the top MVC teams were in action. Round robin play getting underway. Onalaska and Holman tied at 1 in the second half. Vikings looking to jump out in front. It's Elliot Yang firing home with the left foot, but Elijah Fernandez makes a nice save. Then the home side seizing their opportunity. Great individual work by Francisco De La Rosa. Gives it a go and goal. Great play by the senior, showing a little love to the camera as well. And that would be all the scoring in this one. Holman picks up the win by a final of 2-1. And Toma visiting Aquinas last night in lacrosse. Blue Gold got the Timberwolves 4-1 earlier this season, but the away side comes out swinging. The header from Brody Habelman is in to give Toma the lead, but the host would quickly respond. Great ball skills by David Onyebor, and he slots one to Vincent Barr. Keeps calm and puts it home to put us even at 1. Second half now, both teams looking for that crucial second goal, and it's the Blue Goals finding it. Good work by Johnny Woollever, finding Onyebor, and he knows what to do with it. And that's your winner, folks. Great battle between two good teams, but Aquinas leaves with the win. Over to Hillsboro we go as two of the top 3 teams in the Scenic Bluffs colliding. Brookwood coming off a 9-game win streak, but Hillsboro stands in their way. First set, home team started things off strong as Michelin Hansen would fake out the set and get the kill right there. The Tigers would struggle early as Brookwood would get a big lead, and Ellie Tiemann would be a part of it as she taps it up and over the defense. But Hillsboro would come all the way back and win the first set on an ace right there, 26-24. Later on, it's Hansen again. The senior would get the kill and push the lead into a 5th set, but it would not be enough as Hillsboro falls in a heartbreaker at home. Brookwood wins the final set by 2 points to keep their streak alive and tie Hillsboro for the 2nd spot in the Scenic Bluffs. In Minnesota, the Caledonia Warriors hosting the Lewis and Altura Cardinals in high-stakes matchup on the volleyball court last night. Caledonia dominates set 1 early with a big block and a high-flying spike, all in 2 big leaps from senior Sienna Ogdahl, but that's not the end of her first set soul-taking as she hammers a serve too hard to handle for the Cardinals defense. Sophomore Paisley Lang then spikes the set point as Lewis and Altura hopes to show life in the second set. Life called upon and life received. Senior Riley Kennedy energizing her team with an overall dominant performance. Lewis and Altura would tie it up 1-1, and they would not stop there as they get the upset of Caledonia 3-2. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
There's been a lot of interest these days. Interest is growing in our rewards-based Kasasa checking account with 3.55 annual percentage yield. Interested? Contact us at Park Bank, member FDIC.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
As the mom of a daughter, I'm livid that boys are now being allowed to compete in girls' sports. It's just wrong, and I blame Tammy Baldwin. She voted to let biological men into women's sports. Worse, Baldwin co-sponsored legislation to force girls to share locker rooms with biological men. Tammy Baldwin is failing to keep our families safe. Tammy Baldwin's extreme values are wrong for Wisconsin. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Steve from Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. If you feel colder drafts here, you have gaps, worn seals, or even cracks here, you need a trusted window company to replace the window and help you save money on your energy bill. At Clear Choice, we know that your home is your biggest investment, and in a year like this, every dollar needs to be spent wisely. Our team will complete our Weather Guardian 15-step installation process on every job to ensure your home and family are safe before we leave. Call now for our buy 3, get 1 free special.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need, because they're a part of them, because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin doesn't share our Wisconsin values. Baldwin's life partner is a Wall Street executive who has invested in industries that Tammy oversees in Washington. But Senator Baldwin refuses to disclose her partner's financial assets. That's a conflict of interest. They're getting richer while you're paying more. Tammy Baldwin's not on your side. She's in bed with Wall Street.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join the team and give today.
Lance Hauser enjoys working at Park Bank because it's community-driven and family-first. Lance really enjoys playing with his kids. Lance enjoys the teamwork of ownership and staff. Visit Lance at Park Bank in Sparta to talk about your financial dreams and a certain favorite football team.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In your morning medical news, a third farm worker in California has reportedly tested positive for bird flu. If the CDC confirms the diagnosis, it would be the 17th human case since March in the United States. In all 3 California cases, it appears to be animal to human transmission with mild symptoms. Investigators are ramping up their efforts to follow the spread of the virus. According to the California Dairy Quality Assurance Program, more than 80 herds have been infected. Up to 15% of cows have died from infections. Toma VA Medical Center helping veterans embrace healthy lifestyles. Their Fall into Wellness Expo connects vets with a range of VA resources. The event showcases healthy hobbies and services aimed at improving veterans' quality of life.
We have so many wonderful programs and they just don't know that they exist. The more that we can do events like this and help veterans to see the programs, to meet the staff that work there, and to really understand the many great services that we offer, the more likely they are to come in.
The center's health behavior coordinator says awareness is key to veteran well-being. Nearly 120 million adults have high blood pressure in the United States, according to the CDC. It can put you at risk for heart disease, stroke, and other significant health issues, but a person with high blood pressure often has no symptoms. That's why getting it measured is important, but a new study suggests many may not be getting accurate readings. Mandy Gaither explains how to properly be positioned when measuring blood pressure.
At a doctor's appointment, it's one of the first things you have done. Knowing your blood pressure is a critical part of health, but researchers say some readings may not be right.
In order to diagnose hypertension, the first step is getting an accurate blood pressure measurement. Inaccurate measurements, whether in the clinic or in the home, can lead to misdiagnosis or either over or under treatment.
Dr. Tammy Brady with the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine is senior author of a study which finds that having your arm in the wrong position during blood pressure checks, whether at home or in the doctor's office, can result in significantly higher readings.
It's not just putting on a cuff and pushing a button.
To get the most accurate readings, Brady says your arm should not be on your lap. It should also not be dangling unsupported at your side. Instead, it should be resting like this at chest height. Before the blood pressure is checked, she says to empty your bladder. Avoid exercise, tobacco, nicotine, and alcohol for at least 30 minutes beforehand. Sit with your back supported, feet on the floor, and be free of distractions so that you can relax.
And then ideally, you would take 2 to 3 measurements, 30 to 60 seconds apart, and take the average of those measurements. And that part's important because everyone's blood pressure varies minute to minute, beat to beat. And in order to get closer to the truth, you want an average of those measurements.
Dr. Brady says other studies have shown proper positioning steps aren't adhered to at many doctors' offices, so it's important for patients to advocate for themselves. On Alaska, looking to the future and its police force at last night's council meeting, the Live Anna 2040 plan passed unanimously, shaping the city's development, housing, and preservation. Council members also tackled police retention, approving officer bonuses, earlier raises, and flexible PTO policies. The La Crosse Public Library is set to receive more than $3 million for renovations and construction projects. Funding comes from ARPA grants for public libraries and community centers across the state. The library will upgrade its current computer labs, larger spaces, and offer instruction on how to use the technology.
Providing the access to people who don't have it is really part of what libraries do. It's part of our mission. So our mission really lines up very well with what this grant is trying to accomplish.
The library will also add classrooms, meeting rooms, and private studies. Renovations are expected to be complete by October 2026. A local favorite now officially closed for the season, Rudy's Drive-In dished out its final walnut burgers, shakes, and fries yesterday before closing down for the winter. The owner says while closed, it's a great opportunity to deep clean.
It's almost like opening up a brand new restaurant every single year, but gives us the advantage to do the deep cleaning and keep things looking nice and clean.
While closed, the team will also start preparing for the next season. Time now is 6:36. Here is News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our morning commute.
All right, and away we go, holding on to current temperatures. We're looking at possibility. You know what? I'm going to stop this right now. I'm going to hold on to this right now. I just want to do this real quick. All right, so we're going to show you this. We've got the current conditions right now, frost and freeze going on right now. Then I want to show you that we've got warmer conditions on the way. We also have the frost freeze coming into the picture here, where you're looking at conditions to be a little bit like this, holding on to at least 30s and the 40s right now. But once we get deeper into the hour, we could see some 20s pop in the picture, and I'm talking at least the upper 20s, similar to what we had yesterday. 34 to at least 43 as you get into Marshfield, holding on to conditions by Volkfield 36, Sparta 37, La Crosse at 45. Once you get in this green area where even Eau Claire is in, you're looking at those low 40s as well. That being said, we take a gander at what's happening. We've got some transitional areas going on right now. Colder air out of Canada, keeping us fairly moderate right now. As we go into it, we get into Saturday, colder air is going to dive down on us. Rainfall potential coming in. It's like about a 20 to 30% chance with an increase as we go into the overnight hours. You see more of that rainfall starting to come back in as we go into Sunday in the wee hours of the morning. Once we get in the early morning by sunrise, you're looking at heavier rainfall possibly popping in there. Not a lot of rainfall moving into the picture, and eventually it starts to hold on to limited amounts where we're seeing just maybe a few hundredths of an inch, if that at all. That's a look at your forecast.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Azadin holding on to at least turning 8 years old today. Enjoys playing soccer and spending time with family and friends.
And Kendall's turning 18. She loves to spend time with her friends, riding horses, and being around her 2 dogs, Lily and Remy.
How about Merle? Merle's turning 80 years old today, and he loves to go fishing, hunting, and practicing woodworking.
If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Coming up, looking for a fun way to help your kids burn off some energy as the temperatures drop? We're joined by Jumpstart Adventure Park to tell you more.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible. Own a legend, Toyota Trucks.
Lease a tough new 2024 Tacoma for $319 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
I'm a nurse in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Hovde means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
Eric Hovde supported overturning Roe v. Wade, which led to an abortion ban in Wisconsin.
And that's a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest.
What Hovde supports criminalizes abortion and doctors like me.
We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Toma Health offers the latest surgical techniques for a wide range of procedures, including orthopedics, endoscopy, gynecology, and cataract surgery. Our board-certified physicians meet the needs of every patient with the Mako Smart Robotics and Da Vinci surgical systems.
Toma Health has an excellent reputation, and we have access to the latest technologies, including computer-assisted total joint replacement.
Visit tomahealth.org for expert surgical care.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Attract a variety of birds to your feeder with Enchanted Gardens Black Oil Sunflower Seeds. This highly nutritious seed keeps birds coming back. Get a 50-pound bag for only $17.99 after rebate. Get the last roof you'll ever need. Menards Steel Roofing offers superior wind and hail resistance. Plus, it's available in cut-to-your-length panels for fast installation. Get an 11% rebate on all Menards Steel Roofing.
Save big money at Menards.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Lease a rugged new 2024 Tundra for $479 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
All right, I want to give you another overview of what's happening as far as rain is concerned here locally. We get into current temperatures right now. We're holding on to the 30s, some 40s. As you get right back down, you're going to see eventually the 50s coming in about the 10 o'clock hour. So until then, we're continuing to go backwards and cooling down temperatures locally. We're going to hold on to the frost advisory that goes until at least 9 a.m. this morning. And as we get into Eau Claire, you're looking at cooling, getting down to from 39 degrees at 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., looking at 58 degrees there. That being said, we'll hold on to La Crosse, starting out at 44 degrees at 7 a.m. Kids going to school, you're looking at mid-morning, 46 degrees for you at 8 a.m. Then once you get into the 11 o'clock hour, you're looking at 61 degrees. So still a bit chilly out there, so you need that extra jacket. We'll get into the Sky Tracker showing you conditions as we leave going into the 1 a.m. hour for Thursday. You're going to be seeing clouds starting to sneak in, coming and going. You'll pick up temperatures in the 70s once you get into the afternoon around 2 to 3 o'clock. Friday, you're looking at 245. You're holding on some clouds coming in the early morning. And then as that goes away, rainfall potential starts to sneak in the picture as we close out Friday going into Saturday with more rainfalls coming in for Saturday. The potential for that still continues. So we're looking at cool conditions well to the north. We get into Friday, though, we're in warm conditions for now. We'll hold on by that because we have a ridge of high pressure starting to kick all of this colder air out of the way. But for now, you're looking at Saturday, temperatures start to drop down a little bit more, get a little bit cooler, mostly 60s. Then we'll see the rainfall potential sneaking into the picture. That starts to come in for Saturday. Breezing, gusty winds up to at least 25 miles per hour plus in some cases. And we'll also see sustained winds also holding on to at least around, say, 20 miles per hour. Those will go into the picture here for Sunday as well. We'll see those breezing, gusty winds coming out of Canada, just dropping down on top of us, putting rainfall in the picture for us as we finish out on Sunday. It'll go from at least a 20 to about a 40% chance maybe 50% chance overnight from Saturday going into Sunday, and then we lose that rainfall as a 20% chance going into Sunday. That being said, you're not looking at a lot of it though. Limited amounts of rainfall. Highs for temperatures for today, you're looking at least 60s, some 70s out there. And of course, we'll go right back into the next few days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Temperatures from 79 to 81 degrees. Then we cool you on back down, as I mentioned before, and then eventually we'll take it into warmer conditions or cooler conditions going into next week, where temperatures will be well below seasonal average, going right back into 70s for the next couple of days, 80s on the way, and then breezy and gusty conditions coming into the picture, and we begin to cool you on down. You've got the Indigenous Peoples Day going into Monday, Columbus Day for some. Then we'll go into Tuesday and Wednesday, where temperatures are in the 50s and the 60s going into Wednesday. It's going to be a little bit chilly, so get ready. Wear that jacket.
Yeah, nice fall weekend.
And for that.
Yes, perfect. Perfect transition there, Art. As the weather starts to cool down, many of us parents, once again, looking for ways to keep the kiddos busy indoors. We'll jump right into a local solution. Elizabeth and Keenan are joining us now with Adventure Park. Good morning to you both. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
You are from
Thank you for
Jumpstart Adventure Park. Yes, happy to see you. So for people who may not be familiar, I know I drive past the billboard all the time. What should we know about the park?
So Jumpstart is the first ever trampoline and adventure park here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. It offers not only trampolines, but also ropes courses, ninja courses, warp walls, dodgeballs, basketball hoops.
Wow.
We can go on and on. So it's just a great opportunity for the kiddos around the area.
Yes, sounds very fun.
So what kind of things do you do with them? I mean, what are the age groups first, and what do you do with them?
So we recommend all ages. Biggest thing is we see tot times, babies coming in, crawling around on their tummies over on the air track or different trampolines and stuff like that. And we see grandparents jumping around with their grandkids during general admission as well. So anything in between there, we just really want to give the community an opportunity to really just get out, hang out, and really just meet up and get together.
Yeah, that's great to know. So I have an almost 2-year-old, so I wasn't sure if he would be old enough, but
yes.
that's okay. You have a toddler area.
Absolutely. We have a tot time, so that is for Tuesdays and Saturdays as of right now. From 10 to noon, you can basically bring your kiddo in, and it's basically 5 and under kiddos and their parents reserved for the park.
And 2 and under is free.
Okay,
yeah.
2 and under is free.
With an adult jumping.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Great to know there. Okay, and then do you guys have a top tip to make the most of their time if the first-time visitors coming?
For first-time visitors, we definitely recommend that they fill out their waivers online beforehand.
Okay.
It definitely saves a lot of time during the check-in process. The other thing is if they have grip socks from a trampoline park, just to bring those in as well.
Okay. All right, good to know
So
there.
do you guys give them a little bit of an opportunity to see you out there performing, perhaps?
A little bit. We definitely like to keep it more on the supervisor end, making sure kiddos are safe, having fun, and all that good stuff. But if they want to see a little flip, I might hop there on the trampoline and show them one or two.
All right, and we just saw some pictures from the inside. Looks very fun. You have something new for this season, right? What can you guys tell us about that?
We do. We're actually in the process of implementing a new soft play.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever been to like a McDonald's or things like that. It's
Yeah,
big soft, padded attraction meant for more tots, younger kiddos, things like that.
Great.
Just to give them more of a safe opportunity, especially when the busier season, Saturdays, especially during the winter.
Yeah.
When it's a little bit more crazier, you got the teenagers running around.
Yeah.
I'm sure moms especially want to have that little safe space for their little toddlers and their tots as well.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and is that open now, or do we know when that's going to be
We're
open?
actually starting that today.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're going to go and start building it today.
Okay.
We're hoping to have it up as soon as possible. Granted, however that goes, but we're very excited to have that apart, definitely for the winter months for sure.
All right, well, they heard it here first then.
So you guys have a membership, and what's it take to join?
We do. I love the membership. Came out about a year ago. With all the raising prices across the country, I feel like around the world it's a little crazy, right?
Yeah.
So all we can do is try and look out for our community, right? So instead of paying $18 for 90 minutes for a 6 and up or $10 for a 5 and under, you can pay that rate once a month and you get up to 2 hours jump time every single day of the month. And it comes with different incentive-based packages, such as like a buddy pass where you can get discounted prices for a friend to come and jump. You can get incentive-based coupons as well, so the longer you have these memberships, the more that they're worth, such as for party coupons and stuff like that. So overall, it just gives them an opportunity to come and jump without having to spend a lot of money. So
Yeah.
we understand jump time adds up very quickly with one kiddo, let alone 2, 3, 4.
Right, especially if your kids are always asking to go back,
Exactly,
right? Okay, that's
exactly.
great. And then you guys do birthday parties too. What can you tell us about that before we go?
So with birthday parties, we have a designated host for every party.
Okay.
They're the ones that kind of take care of a majority of the stuff for the party. So they'll set up the party tables, they'll clean up, they'll get your waters, they can help pass out pizza, they'll help cut the cake, kind of do whatever that you need done to help make the parents' lives easier.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Okay, and then what website or social media, where can we go for more info?
So that would be all on our website, and then you can even book online, or you can call and book over the phone with us. But I recommend booking as early as you can, just especially during the winter months. We have so many people wanting to come in for birthday parties.
Okay, I'm sure it's a popular attraction. Okay, well, sounds great. Thank you both so much for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
No problem. Well, stay with us. We're back right after this.
Get ready for the holidays and save money during our fall sale at Interior Designs Home. All of our carpets are on sale. You'll save money and get more for free. Free measuring and estimates in your home. Free furniture moving, even that heavy couch and king-size bed. Free removal of your old carpet and padding, and we'll recycle it. Free life of carpet labor warranty for as long as you own the carpet. All at the lowest prices of the year and 12 months no interest financing. Save money and get more for free during the biggest carpet sale of the year going on now at Interior Designs Holman.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin doesn't share our Wisconsin values. Baldwin's life partner is a Wall Street executive who has invested in industries that Tammy oversees in Washington. But Senator Baldwin refuses to disclose her partner's financial assets. That's a conflict of interest. They're getting richer while you're paying more. Tammy Baldwin's not on your side. She's in bed with Wall Street.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join the team and give today.
I served in the United States Navy to protect and honor my country, so it makes me sick to know it. But our Congressman, Derek Van Orden, participated in January 6th, the deadly Capitol attack where 140 police officers were injured and 5 ultimately died. Van Orden was there. Then he lied about it until social media posts proved Van Orden was there. As rioters attacked it, he dishonored our country. Derek Van Orden doesn't belong in Congress.
Vote Vets is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's big snacking and candy event. Right now, save on our incredible one-of-a-kind selection of craveable candies, nuts, and trail mixes, and more. Like new Blaine's brand Heat and Honey, Magic Marshmallow, or Muddy Buddy trail mixes, just $3.99 a pound. Enjoy your favorite Blaine's Farm and Fleet chocolate snacks in large resealable bags, only $12.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. Plus, save the date for Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland opening weekend. The magic begins Saturday, October 12th.
I'm Stacy Klein. As a volleyball mom, I remember looking forward to our week for team snacks. But now even the generic brands are expensive. And while career politicians are busy pointing fingers and bickering, Wisconsin families are still suffering. That's why I'm running for state senate, to lower the cost of living, cut taxes, and get Madison back to working as a team again. Because Western Wisconsin families are tired of settling for generic brands and generic politicians.
Friday Night Frenzy, Friday at 10 on News 8.
Welcome back. It is 6:52, time for your morning news now. A Fort Atkinson man is dead after a train hit his tractor. The Winneshiek County Sheriff says a train struck 60-year-old Carl Kuhn on Highway 24 and 128th Street. The train's conductor says he saw Kuhn driving and tried to brake, but hit him at 30 miles per hour. Kuhn was pronounced dead on scene. More than 24 Florida counties are under hurricane warning as Milton barrels toward the state's Gulf Coast. Millions of residents have been ordered to evacuate, many leaving behind streets lined with belongings destroyed by the last hurricane less than 2 weeks ago. That trash could become dangerous projectiles when Milton makes landfall as early as tonight. Winona voters got a closer look at their House candidates last night. The League of Women Voters hosted a forum for several Minnesota House seats, including District 26A. Republican Erin Rapinski and Democrat Sarah Kruger faced off, covering their Winona roots, bipartisanship goals, and economic concerns.
Voting in a way that is always based on the needs of the district, not necessarily based on a caucus, not based on a party that I'm affiliated with.
Everybody talks about the economy and how we increased our budget by 38% over 2 years with having a surplus. Government needs fiscal responsibility and transparency.
Rapinski serves on Winona City Council. Kruger is chief of staff for nonprofit Fair Vote Minnesota. Happening today, Gwen Walls bringing the campaign trail back to Wisconsin. The Harris Walls ticket will make 2 stops in the Badger State, Beloit at 10 and Madison at noon. The exact locations are still under wraps. Her tour follows President Biden's Milwaukee stop yesterday. The La Crosse Public Library is set to receive more than $3 million for renovations. Funding comes from ARPA grants for public libraries and community centers. The library will upgrade its current computer labs with new computers, larger spaces, and instruction on how to use the tech.
Providing the access to people who don't have it is really part of what libraries do. It's part of our mission. So our mission really lines up very well with what this grant is trying to accomplish.
The library will also add classrooms, meeting rooms, and private studies. Renovations expected to be finished by October of 2026. A local favorite now officially closed for the season. Rudy's Drive-In dished out its final walnut burger, shakes, and fries yesterday before closing for the winter. The owner says now it's time for deep cleaning and getting ready for next year. Habitat for Humanity is making history for 2 La Crosse families. The organization celebrated the completion of 2 modular homes on the city's north side yesterday. These homes are built in a factory and shipped to their locations, offering low-cost housing with high construction quality.
These are definitely the first 2 that we've done, obviously, and they're some of the first in the state of Wisconsin by Habitat for Humanity. There's a lot of eyes on this, and they turned out to be a success in almost every respect.
The homes arrived in La Crosse in June. Habitat says the homes will be placed in the Cooley Community Land Trust so they can stay permanently affordable.
All right, frosty morning this start. We're looking at temperatures in the 20s and 30s and the 40s as possibly as we finish out the next hour. So right now we're holding on to 30s and the 40s. We'll also be looking at this rainfall potential coming into the weekend. Starts Saturday night, slowly getting into Sunday, and then finishes out the day. We're not looking at a lot. It's not a gully washer, not a lot of rainfall at all. Just a few hundredths of an inch, if that. High temperatures today, some 60s, some 70s for us. We'll get up to at least 75 today for La Crosse. Warm it up by Friday, well above seasonal average temperatures, but below any type of records. We'll get colder as we go right through the weekend, and then next week, even chillier.
All right, well, dozens of raccoons held an unauthorized picnic. Is any raccoon picnic authorized? In front of a Washington state home. The home's owner was so annoyed with the trash pandas, she later called deputies from the county sheriff's office in an attempt to break up the raccoon public gathering. But unfortunately, look at those signs. They say private property. The raccoons were not listening, were they? Unfortunately, the raccoons, or the officials, ended up referring her to the state's Fish and Wildlife Agency. The homeowner said she's been feeding them for 35 years, but noticed a sharp rise in their population 6 weeks ago.
Well, there you have it.
Well, what does she expect?
That's
She's
a
been
concert.
feeding them for generations.
Yeah, that was a concert.
That was a family reunion. They've been there for 35 years, you know?
Wow.
The family reunion suddenly got canceled, didn't it?
Yeah, right. There's some members you just don't want, right?
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. We'll see you back here at noon. Enjoy your Wednesday.